Peace. Working on day 8 here. Doing day 6 and 7 review together. Sorry I missed yesterday's review. Kind of a busy day, doing stuff for neighbors, doing stuff for us. Just trying to stay busy, keep my mind occupied, and just keep from getting bored, you know. Although we don't usually go anywhere, it's a different thing when you know you can't really go anywhere. So, I've been doing cooking. I looked up a crockpot chicken recipe that kicks butt. I recommend cooking. Just I also recommend going for a walk in the evening or something so you can burn some of that off. Because good food, especially when you cook it yourself, is even better. Seeing, like I said, more people wearing masks, not enough. Still only 5 people reported infected in our area. We'll see what happens there. And, stores are starting to normalize a little bit in supplies. Still, some food items, routinely off the shelves. Would be the easier stuff to cook usually. The snack foods, things like that. Got to keep the kids occupied. Plus, you can't cook a meal every time you're hungry. You want to sit around, watch a movie, some chips, just watch some mindless eating. Can lead to a lot of extra calories and cholesterol you didn't really want. At this time, I caution, if you're spending too much time around your spouse, better half, roommate, brother, sister, whatever, try to remember to get some alone time so you don't go too stir crazy. Four-wall syndrome shuts in a lot faster when you realize you're trapped with somebody. Little tiny eccentricities start to get on nerves and things like that. And that's not good because there are a lot of domestic situations right now, according to the police. And we don't need to be hurting each other. We don't need to be arguing with each other. We need to be taking care of each other. And it's the most important thing right now. I'm helping neighbors left and right. They usually would pay me for these things, but I'm not worried about it. If they've got some money, cool. If not, give you a ride somewhere. And other than that, doing it to do it, I'm a lot better person than I used to be when I was younger. I used to have money to do anything for anybody. Now, I do it because it's right. I do it because I want something to do and they need it done. Simple as that. Things have to get done, I may be disabled and I may have some serious issues and I can work around a bit, but, I do push myself too hard. Also, given though, the fact that I push myself allows me to push myself on a regular basis rather than end up sitting in a chair all day long or lying in a bed. I continue to challenge myself. One thing that you don't want to challenge, though, is the stay-at-home order. Some people we know in related family arrogantly, acted like this is all nothing and no big deal in their area and all that stuff. And, now they've got the symptoms. People don't arrogantly believe this bug is not going to get you. You don't know. You don't know any more than anybody else. We know who's more susceptible, but that doesn't mean anything. Maybe nobody you're around sick, but who have they been around? Who did they pass in the 7-Eleven on the way to work? Who did they see at the doctor's office when they walked in to get a prescription earlier? Think about it. I'm keeping a positive mental attitude. I've had some issues, as you know, being alone with your thoughts can lead to some deep thoughts, and I've gotten in touch with some emotions lately about some people's passings, and the emotions are hitting pretty hard. Perhaps that's the measurement of mortality in all this. We're seeing for the first time in our lifetimes, people dying en masse, people getting sick en masse in ways that we've only heard about in history class, or in some third world country where people are poor and disease runs rampant. Nobody likes to think it can happen in a major city or across the world, and here it has. But nature is a powerful thing. Man is an adaptable being. We can adapt to a lifestyle of not being quite as close, being close but not physically close. We might bring us closer as people because we have to work harder to communicate at that point. People are important right now. Even if you're a person who doesn't usually see people on a daily basis or even weekly, keep in touch with people, even if it's only on Facebook or wherever. We're all we've got, each other, and that's something that should teach us. We have to learn to have each other's backs. We have to learn to watch out for each other. We have to take care of each other. And that should be the goal, not only the goal in this crisis, but on a daily basis. And I think that's what this is trying to remind us. I see corporations being helpful. I see, governments doing things where, like, with money we have no idea was there. But it's being done. That's the point. And all, people who are at home, not able to work, whatnot, count your blessings if you're not sick. You may have a hiccup in income. You might have to, apply for unemployment, make full use of the stimulus if you get it. You might have to apply for one of those loans/grants for your business. But you're not sick. Your family's not sick. And you got to remember that. That's very important. You're getting time at home to spend where people always used to spend time with their families, reading books, watching TV, getting things done around the house, getting back to life as it was much earlier in the last century, which, by the way, about 100 years ago there was a plague, and I believe 100 years before that, if I looked it up correctly. So that's an interesting little side note. But I'm seeing things looking up. I'm keeping my attitude up. I'm keeping positive, trying to, because positive attitude goes a long way towards healing if you're sick, and it goes a long way towards prevention. The more negative you are, the lower your immune system is, the harder it is to fight things. It's just common sense. It's like the person who doctor diagnoses them with cancer and says, "You should already be dead." And they're like, "Why? I'm fine, doc." And they literally are. They go to work every day, they take care of their family, they play with their kids. But medically, they should be dead. How do you explain that? Other than positive attitude. Following through mentally what you're being told physically should have killed you. There's plenty of proof in it, Faith healing, yeah, to a degree it's brainwashing, but there's also been real cases of faith healing and the fact of the person having faith and being healed. Not, walking into a front row of a church or something and having hands laid on them. I don't know about that one. That's not in my line of expertise, but faith, there's that word again. Gotta have it. Just don't have blind faith. You believe in God blindly. You believe He's there. You believe He cares about you, but you don't believe that you're going to get through this virus without any hard work, without any preparation, without any preventative measures, because the virus is here. The devil didn't put it here. It's part of nature's cycle. God is part of that cycle, So He's not just going to give you a free pass. You got to do your part to avoid getting sick and to avoid making others sick. It's just common sense, common decency. Try not to be a spreader, as I've heard many Hollywood types say in videos and little movies and commercials they've done. It's very important. Wash your hands anytime you've been outside in public. Touch things in your car, in your house, in your mailbox, your grocery bags, things like that. Anytime you go out, make sure you don't touch your face. You know, if you do somehow for some reason have to touch your face, make sure there's something in between your hand and that, something clean. You know, just be conscious of germs. Whether or not they're there, it's good to at least pretend they are. That way you're protected. So, you know, wear a mask in public, please, for the rest of us, if not for yourself. And stay home. Peace. Day 6-7 review, over and out.